Okay, very good morning to Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Today is my great honor to give a presentation in this conference under the topic, Understanding Entrepreneurial University, the Concepts and Practice. And this presentation actually aims to share the concept of entrepreneurial university and its practice. And this concept will help us to make a reflection on how Cambodian higher education institution could implement and secure quality teaching and learning in the environment in which there are a lot of higher education institutions. I think that the previous presentation show us the practical cases. So this is more theoretical because it tells you about how the entrepreneurial university is actually implemented in other countries. So at the end of this, after the presentation of the concept, we are going to look at the uh, what could be the implication for Cambodian higher education institution or Cambodian university to consider in order to improve the qualities and in order to promote the collaboration among university, industry, and government. This is something that we have been talking this morning. All right. So before we start, I would just would like to share with you the contents of this presentation. I'm going to give you a background of this, why we have this kind of entrepreneurial university, and the role of university in the knowledge-based society. Right? What is how the roles of university have evolved in from the past to to the current situation. And then we're going to look at the concept of entrepreneurial university. I'm going to share with you some of the cases in South Asia. And well, as you, this is just a background in order that we can have a better understanding of the concept of entrepreneurial university. Well, as we could see that nowadays is there is a rise of the knowledge-based society or knowledge-based economy, and higher education has been regarded has become very important, even more important for the individual society to survive. Nowadays, higher education has been considered the basic education in a knowledge-based economy. So people so in order to contribute to the economic development of the country, education is really needed. So, and we could see that the governments and international organization, development partners have, regard higher education as a vital tool in order to develop the human capital for the knowledge for the economic development. So this, you could see that nowadays higher education has been expanded uh, in the country as well as in the, in the world. So this situation has affected the roles and the funding of the government in higher education. So in the past, higher education was the elite, education, but nowadays it's becomes a universal. It is universalizations of higher education. So now the higher education expert has made a suggestion that all, in order to address this challenge or the budget cut, from the government, all university should adapt or become entrepreneurial, in order to respond to the growing need, the growing demands of higher education. So so uh, we need, it is important to promote the entrepreneurial culture, in higher education. But before we move on to the how we can actually make the university become entrepreneurial, and some people make misunderstand the concept of entrepreneurialism and commercializations of higher education. We're going to make it clear in this presentation just to make sure that we can see the distinction between the entrepreneurialism of university and the commercializations of university. Well, it is important to note that if you look at the roles of university, we could see that the role of university has evolved, moving beyond the traditional functions of teaching and research to take up the role in promoting economic development. As you could see that in the past, university is a place where the knowledge is preserved, and it has a role of the knowledge preservation, knowledge transfer, and later on the research was conducted in order to produce new knowledge. Now, uh, we could see that it has been expanded from the task, the mission of knowledge preservation and knowledge production, and more recently we could see that it is the knowledge exploitation for innovation. So which means that the research findings was employed by was used by the government and the industry in order to contribute to the economic development. If we look into the evolution, the academic revolution, you could see that basically two forms of the change in the academic setting. The change from the teaching institution to the one in which research is integrated into teaching in order to provide new knowledge for the students. And now, and most of the time, the university was perceived as the place where the teachers are trained to work in other institutions. Now, if we look at the second revolution, we could see that there is a relationship between teaching and research, and that's a combination of both in order to contribute to the economic development. So we could see that the first mission, which is teaching or education, has inspired the second mission, which is research, and from which it emerged the third mission, which is economic development. This is as we know that there are three core missions of the higher education institutions. We have education, we have research, and we have community service. Well, actually, the service to community, it is actually the third mission. It was traditionally interpreted, as the third mission has been traditionally interpreted as the service to community or public service or the outreach. Nowadays, we could see that the recent study have shown that the university have expanded its role, okay, from providers of education to generator of entrepreneurial activities. So the third mission here becomes the entrepreneurial activities in the knowledge-based economy. Okay, so what can we do in order to become the generator of entrepreneurial activities? Actually, the university are expect, and that is also the concept that His Excellency Dr. Hossein Hain mentioned, raising the case of uh, the interaction between government, university, and industry. Now, we could see that in other countries, especially in developed countries in the Western world, the entrepreneurial activity has become normalized. Okay, so now let's move to the concept of entrepreneurial university. So what is I would say, what is the entrepreneurial university? Well, university, as we know that the university needs to develop an entrepreneurial orientations and culture. So, so what do we mean by entrepreneurial cultures orientation? In this, in a context, in the cultures of entrepreneurialism, the faculty members are encouraged to look at, their research result for their commercial as well as intellectual potential, or the intellectual properties, and to seek the external fund to conduct research. All right, so they need to act entrepreneurially in order to get the fund. So with this, it also transformed the university and capabilities into a crucial source of technology. So where does technology come from? It is from the university. So university has been transformed into the crucial source of technology, human resources, and knowledge to provide new idea for existing enterprises and to create new firms. So as you could see that in other countries, in developed countries, whenever we want to conduct research, not only in science but also in social science, then the people will go to university. The private sector, the industry will go to university. Um, uh, because university is considered to be the source of knowledge and resources. And university are inclined to adopt the third mission and shift that have shifted, the traditional from being a traditional institutions based on teaching and learning, based on teachings and research, into the entrepreneurial one in order to respond to the changing need or the demands of the knowledge-based economy. This is in the global context. So if you act entrepreneurially, for example, if the university would just try to get the external fund in order to conduct research, or they can do things in order to generate income. So will they be called an entrepreneurial university? We need to look at this, all right? If the university just perform the entrepreneurial activity, this does not enable them to become the entrepreneurial university. We need to make sure that all the entrepreneurial activities create the added value for education and research and vice versa, which means that whatever you do for the income generation or whatever has to create the added value for education and research. And at the same time, your education and your research could provide the added value for the entrepreneurial activities. So you do research is also for the sake of entrepreneurial activity. And that is what makes the entrepreneurial university different, from the commercializations of a university, because we need to make sure that there is a value added of the entrepreneurial activities to the two missions of the university, which are education and research. So university technology transfer activities are done while the core missions of teachings and research are maintained. So you have technology. So where is the technology transfer? We, in other countries, the technology transfer is actually established in the university, all right, rather than outside the university. So whatever you do, all these activity, the technology transfer, knowledge transfer has to be, could be done, but we have to make sure that the teaching and research will be there. Okay, so as an entrepreneurial university, the university is able to take on several roles in the society and in the innovation ecosystem. So our modern in this modern society, the university has been expected to make a close relationship, or we can say interaction, with the stakeholders, right? Particularly, we're talking about the other two key players like governments and industry, in order to produce or develop the new technology, as well as to strengthen its position in the knowledge-based economy. And at the same time, this entrepreneurial university is also established in order to generate new income of the new sources of income. It is the way of diversifying the sources of income of university. So if you just look at the model here, if you look at this model, before we before there is an there is a model in which there is a close uh, collaboration among academia, states, or governments or industry. We have some others like state model. I mean, the statist model, right? It is in the triple helix. By just looking at this, everyone, by just looking at this, you could see that the state, has a dominant control over the university and industry. Okay, so so uh, if you look at the laissez-faire model here in this triple helix, we could see that it suggests that the three actors, like the government, industry, and academia, operate separately or they interact. But if you could see the dotted line show us that they have limited interaction among one another. All right. So the interaction is there is what we call institutional boundary. All right. So that these three actors cannot collaborate closely with one another. However, if we look at the most recent model, okay, of the triple helix, which is one of which is the model that is applied within the entrepreneurial university, we could see that there is an interaction, close interaction among academia, government, and industry, and they sometimes they have an overlap, then overlapping roles. Um, okay, for example, you know, the instead of the state that provide the fund, but the industry can also provide a fund, and the academia, the university, once they have, the fund, they can also, allocate their budget for other purpose, for research purpose as well. So in this show us that these three actors are work closely together. Okay, so the close collaboration among these key actors will contribute is expected to contribute to the economic development of the country. Okay, so by just looking at this, you could see that what are uh, what can the entrepreneurial university do? So entrepreneurial, the university is a supplier of human capitals, the graduates, research is there, provision of incubation space for new enterprises. And I think that the institute, like His Excellency Dr. Leng Pirum said in his institute, there's going to be like incubation center or something like that. So that is a part of that. So the university will be the place which provide the incubation space for the new enterprises. So how about how about the students, right? The students are expected, are exposed and subject to a conducive environment in which they need to take risk, because as you know that entrepreneurial activity involves risk taking. So once we want to transform our university into the entrepreneurial university, the student also need to take risks. They also have to have a project that you need to take risks, and then um, they explore the responsibilities in the project. Like in the real world, and they also try to identify the business opportunity. So by the end, at the end of the study, after they finish the program, then they will be able to seek, to identify a certain opportunity so that they can be an entrepreneur to a certain extent. At the same time, we could see that an entrepreneurial university actively identify and exploit the opportunity to improve itself. Okay, so as you know that, because our two main mission, the core missions, is the education and research. So whatever we do, we are trying, the university will have to work actively, try to makes all the efforts to exploit any opportunity in order to improve themselves, in order to improve the qualities of educations and research for the students and its surroundings, which is the third task in knowledge transfer. And it is capable of managing the mutual dependency. Okay, so the impact of the three university missions or university tasks. So one depend on another, rather than we teach, for example, uh, uh, we only provide the teaching service to the student without doing any other thing else. So um, concerning this concept, what has been done, in the entrepreneurial university, we could see that entrepreneurial university also incorporate the entrepreneurship education in its curriculum to equip the student with entrepreneurial competence. So now the university is no longer, it's not only the place where the students are trained to work for other sectors, to work for the private sector, to work for the government, but also they equip the student with the entrepreneurial competence. All right. Next, you could see that the university expected not only to perform its traditional function, but also take part in the roles of other people, of other actors, like the industry, like the government, something. All right. So they can take, they can take the roles of industries and governments in assisting the new firm formation, right? Incubator facilities, all right, providing consultation, helping to foster entrepreneurship. Okay. Uh, so if you could see that there is an interaction among university, government, and industry. However, the university take the leading role, it take the leading role in the coordination and in collaborating with the with the other actors, okay, key players. So here, it also collaborated with the industry in order to expand research and knowledge and jointly fund with the industry for further development. So the university, because they can actually generate incomes by themselves, so the university can also uh, 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 you know, uh, have their own fund in order to collaborate with the industry for further development. So whether or not university are becoming entrepreneurial or not, all the university seek and they are challenged to seek the opportunity, as you see. As you could see that the two cases presented earlier, as you could see, especially the case of Girirum Technology Institute, they are seeking the opportunity to collaborate with other stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem, as well as to commercialize it. So now, if we look at what is going on in Cambodia, we are now, in that direction, But to what extent we can do it, and that depends on the opportunity, and depends on it depends on the opportunity and on the situation. So the concept of entrepreneurial university has become a desirable good. It's become something that people really want to. And now it forced the university to integrate all the three missions, okay, as we said, the missions of education, research, and entrepreneurial activity in order to respond to the competitive knowledge-based society, and also to overcome the cutback in the government funding. So this the interaction among the three key players will be very important to contribute to the uh, to the economic development. If you look at the cases, what has been done so far in Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand, now they are shifting, you know, transforming the university into the university which tend to adopt the concept of entrepreneurial university. However, the research study have considered that you know, they are now in, you know, in the infant stage. It's a very early stage of the entrepreneurial university compared with what has been done in the Western countries. Now there is a shift because, for example, in Singapore, if uh, in Singapore, we could see that there is an economic policy shift to the knowledge economy, and now we have the science part, which can attract the industry to come and to do research, and they get the research funding. But most of the time, where does the fund come from? The fund mainly come from the government for the first time. So if it is the, you know, in other countries, the fund come from the private sector. Okay, so the private sector uh, will provide a fund even for research or something like that. But what is going on in our South Asian countries? The government will take the lead to provide the fund for the university to do research. For the university, you could see the incubator for company for technology companies there, the startup funds. The university have the startup fund for the spin-off and student enterprise. The university have the new venture support for uh, knowledge commercialization, and we also have the entrepreneurship center. Okay, and industry provide a fund and insight into technology market, and also the partner in research and development. We also look at the Malaysia. The government also pay attention to that by just increasing the budget for research development and technology commercialization. And there's the government also allocated budget for science fund in the research and development for university, and there's also science park and technology incubators, and as you could see here on the slide here. And also there is for the university, there's, you know, we could see that university start to create the commercial branches, and they start to establish the technology transfer offices, and in entrepreneurship education. So for the industry, there is university become like the industry becomes a university partner, as you could see, but the fund, you know, the fund from the industry is very little, you know, in the collaborative research. If you look at what is happening in Thailand, we could see that there is also a shift toward knowledge economy, right? Is actually in transition. And we could see that there are national bodies and decentralization policy in order to provide more freedom for the university to operate. And but we could see that the policy is kind of unsupportive to promote the university industry linkage. But now, what we could see in the university in Thailand, some of the universities in Thailand, there are business incubators and university industry linkages offices for research and entrepreneurship training. For the industry in Thailand, we could see that some industry becomes the university partners in consulting and technical services, right? But the fund from the industry is very little, all right? It's a meager supporters to university. So from these cases, we could see that the how these countries have, you know, to what extent have these countries have adopted the concept of entrepreneurial university. they are now, in a direction to toward the entrepreneurial university concept, but they are still in the, at a very, we call it infant, not a baby, but it's like an infant stage, or kind of embryo stage, to implement the concept of entrepreneurial university. So based on this concept, in conclusion, we could see that university, entrepreneurial university engage in the entrepreneurial activities, and that generate the third stream income, all right, rather than the income from the education, rather than the income from the tuition fee, the income from research, but the income from some, other sources. And also the university enhance or promote the dynamic interaction with the external stakeholders. And also what is important is that the entrepreneurial education is integrated in the curriculum, right? So all of this are done in order to respond, in order to create the value added to teaching and research, all right? So at the end of the day, whatever we do in the university, whatever activities that university are doing, it's for this, for the improvement of the quality, for the educational quality. So all the although the model, as you could see, that the model has been widely adopted in many developed countries. Okay, it's, I would say that this is just an emerging phenomenon, or it's even a new phenomenon or new notion in developing countries. All right, and now some developing countries are considering and what they can actually do uh, to act entrepreneurially. All right. Um, it may be, I would say that for the context of Cambodia, it may be quite realistic to adopt the whole model as because due to the shortage of resources. How can the university play such important? How can the university be the crucial source of knowledge and technology or something? This is because in other countries, this is because there are good resources at the university. All right. But even though the model of entrepreneurial university could not be uh, adopted, in the developing country, but this can give some lesson for the development and strategic development for higher education in Cambodia. So, I have uh, suggested the four features for uh, university entrepreneurship. Number one, there should be a good collaboration, close collaboration among university, government, and industry in order to improve the quality, and at the same time to address the education and the skill mismatch in the current graduate labor market by improving the relevance of university curricula. So I could see the question that I forgot the person who posed the question to uh, His Excellency Dr. Holsen Hein regarding how we can actually promote the collaboration among university, governments, and industry, and what can we do? So uh, for the time being, because there is no moderator. You could say that no moderators could actually, you know, uh, help all of these key actors to work together right now. And one more thing, to in order to attract the industry to invest in the with the university, it's important to make the university, to build credit, all right, credibility, university need to build their credits to prove to the outside world that to the industry, to the government, that they can actually do it, and they have lots of resources, qualified people to do it, right? And so if they can actually make it, all right, there are a lot of people, a lot of qualified people working in a university, and then your university could become the source of, you know, knowledge. So whenever the industry want to uh, want to do research or whatever, they will go to university, as what we could see in, you know, in the in developed countries. Why do they go to the university? Because the university is regarded as the source of, as the crucial source of knowledge. So because the people, the professors there, uh, you know, there are lots of professors. There are lots of professors working there. But in our country, you know, our resources are quite limited. Okay, so it's important that the people will come. You know, all the researchers come together, work together in a university as a critical mass in order to promote, in order to improve the qualities of the university, and then university could actually attract other the private sector or even the government, you know, to invest. Another important thing is the university curricula. We should be it should be revised. Revised in the sense that the we incorporate the entrepreneurship education in it, in order that we can encourage the entrepreneurial spirit among Cambodian students and graduates. All right, because university should not only be the place where the teachers are trained to work for the private sectors or other sectors, but they should be equipped with the entrepreneurial competence. Uh, they can actually becomes an entrepreneur after they graduate. So that is the idea. And the third one would be we could see that there is a limited public funding. So the Cambodian higher education institution have to diversify their income sources, and that is what, and that is through what we call through commercialization. So the commercialization, so the knowledge commercialization, in here, for example, like we have the university is the place where the research is conducted, and we can actually, uh, uh, you know, and then I would say that we can actually attract the companies to come and invest and do research or something like that. It's how we commercialize knowledge, right? So because university is a source of knowledge, so you can commercialize your knowledge through conducting research based on the fund from the private sector or something. Another important thing, because in our country as a developing country, we cannot actually it would be hard to make the university in government and industry happen smoothly. I think it would be important to involve the development partners. So that is why I would say that the involvement of the development partners is needed as a synergy to push the research and development forward for the developments of higher education in Cambodia. All right, as you could see that now the development partners I refer to, for example, it could be like, for example, the World Bank. You could see that the World Bank has been involved in higher education in order to support the higher education sector. And there are also some partners, or its university can also collaborate with other partners in order to improve the qualities of educations in their university. So, so thank you. That comes to the end of my presentation, and thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. So I would like to welcome the question from the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samjan Pirun, for your interesting presentation. We have learned a lot about the role of university in Cambodia, as well as the elaboration on the transformation of higher education institution missions from traditional teaching to research in knowledge production, as well as a pathway toward entrepreneurial university for socio-economic development, in which the collaboration between university and external stakeholders was emphasized. Dr. Samchanpiron, we have several questions for you, so allow me to share the screens for questions. Okay, started from here. The first question from Sol Kum Hong, PhD student at the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan. So here is his question. To be specific, how Phnom Penh Teacher Education College prepares its students for the teaching professions in terms of building their knowledge base for teaching, research capability, and technology competence.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kim Hong, for your interesting question. Okay, to try to make it specific about Phnom Penh Teacher Education College. All right. Actually, I would like to tell you that our three mission for Phnom Penh Teacher Education College, we focus on education, research, and community service. And what we are now doing is we are now trying to prepare our student. We use the new curriculum, which is the 12+4, the bachelor's degrees of education. This actually incorporate all whatever that is important for our student. So we want student to we train, we educate our students for 4 years in order that they will be become a competent teachers and get the updated knowledge and updated teaching methodology. And at the same time, all the students are required, all the students are required to do research before they can actually graduate. And also lecturers at the college are also required, are also encouraged. It's not really a requirement right now, because it's just we just started promoting research right now. So we encourage all the lecturers to do research, but it is not the research in general. We particularly focus on action research, focusing on teaching and learning, assessment, and curriculum. And thanks to the support, the technical and the financial support from JICA, we have also the laboratory for students to practice. So in order to improve their knowledge in terms of technologies that you mentioned here.
Thank you.
So I would say that now we are trying our best, not only to in terms of the curriculum, but also research. And now we are still in the pilot. It is in the pilot stage, and we believe that the first generation of our students will be qualified enough to be, in the teaching profession in their teaching professions after they graduate.
The second question.
Okay, so hopefully I have answered your question, Dr. Kim Hong. Yes, and now we got a question from Mr. Somol from Phnom Penh Teacher Education College. All right. So the question is, the role of university on the knowledge of entrepreneurship will drive the student to be not just workers, but entrepreneurs in the future in 4.0 era, right? Do you think the general education is played a significant role? If so, how teachers and syllabus should before? All right. Oh, that is a very interesting question. Actually, for general education, I would say that it plays a very important role, and what we are saying right now will be we promote because most of the time they when the student who finish their uh, bachelor program in higher education, they will have to go out and work, all right? And for general education, the entrepreneurship education is less emphasized, mainly because we want the student to because if you look at the general education, there are two streams right now. We have those students who want to go to something which is academic, and the other one is something technical. So uh, for those who are more academic, then it's become, the entrepreneurship education may be less emphasized. But for those who are in a technical, I think the entrepreneurship education could be emphasized, because at the end of the day, those students will go out and work after they finish or the general education. So I think incorporating entrepreneurship education is not an easy task, because one thing is that teachers are not yet entrepreneurial oriented, and then our syllabus just focus mainly on the content subject. So it will take time to incorporate the entrepreneurship education in order to make the student um, equipped with the entrepreneurial spirit after they finish their general education. But I think we can start. It is better to start thinking about this from now on. What we can actually do for our students, especially, I would just focus mainly on the higher education rather than the general education, even though we know that it also plays a very important role. Okay, thank you so much. You can ask further if it is not that clear, right? Okay, so now we have also have the question from Mr. Kamsain. You're right. What are PTech approach to help raising fund for R&D in the universe R&D, raising fund for R&D? Um, Actually, now we there's no we have not prepared or made a plan to raise the fund for R&D because, as you know, that PTech is actually the teacher education institution, and right now we only uh, offer this program for the students who are selected, under within the government framework. And the research right now that we are doing now, we are preparing our staff to be, I mean, uh, research competent. So if you talk about raising the fund for R&D, I think that we are not yet in the stage of that. We right now we have to build the capacity to develop the capacities of our lecturers first, and once we have our lecturers are qualified enough, our lecturers are competent in research, and that would be a consider raising the fund for research, I would say. What are the major subjects to equip to the researcher at university to ensure the major subject to equip to the researcher at university to ensure their research results are capable to commercialize? So it is not that easy to say that what are the subjects to equip the researcher. The thing is that from time to time, we need to build the capacities of the faculty members to make sure that they are qualified, they are experienced enough, so that they will they will be able to prove to the outside world that, uh, this is university is a source of knowledge, and the people and the faculty members are good at research, are competent, and then that is a way that they can commercialize the research finding, and then they can actually attract the fund from the private sector and to do the research. So what we do is that we do research, and then we sort of like, they give us a fund, we do research, and then we provide the research finding for them. That is how we commercialize the research findings. But to be specific about what subject needs to be integrated in order to equip to our researcher, and I think there is no specific subject for that. Researchers, faculty members needs to be those who are experienced in research. If possible, they are the PhD holders who have a lot of experience, and then those people, the people can actually come together. We need to, research has to be conducted in team. We help each other, and then this is something which is strong in order to uh, build the credit of university, and to ensure that our research results are capable to be commercialized, right? So, for the question from Mr. Kung Kia from International University, right? How to promote Cambodian higher education institution become entrepreneurial, and what type of university do you think about Cambodian private higher education institution? All right. What do you think about the autonomy of public in the near future? And do you think that it will help Cambodian to become entrepreneurial university? Okay. To become entrepreneurial university, I would say that it is important that the higher education institution needs to develop the capacity of the faculty members. They need to make sure that they are qualified enough, because only only with the competent faculty members, they can actually attract the external stakeholders to invest. All right. So what we can do is to make sure that we are qualified, we are capable enough, we are competent enough to attract other people. So not only the private sector, but also the government will also the government is also willing to invest, in our in the university. If the university has proved themselves to be very competent, they have a lot of competent people working there. For example, you could see what has been done so far. You could see that they with the World Bank project, you could see that like RUBP, which is considered to be one of the leading leading universities in Cambodia, with lots of competent people, or Institute of Technologies of Cambodia. You could see that they are targeted, okay, because they're considered to be the place, the source of knowledge. So it is worth an investment to see what they can actually do. So there are lots of things that we need to do in order to, to make Cambodian higher education institution to become entrepreneurial university. So also the curriculum needs to be considered as well. All right. And the facility, all right. So sometimes, for example, in science, if you really want to if you want to do research, particularly in science, we need to there needs to be the facilities that the researchers, the faculty members can actually use in order to conduct research. All right, scientific research. So what type of university do you think about the type? I think right now Cambodian university, many Cambodian university are still classified as the traditional university, which use, all right, which focus mainly on teaching, on education, all right. Even though we could see that some private university have have started to promote a research culture within their institution, but still the research activities are limited at the private higher education institution. And the point is that their research are not conducted in order to generate the income, to generate the income for the university, but they conduct research in order to produce new knowledge, to um, expand. Faculty members conduct research in order to expand, to update their knowledge so that they can improve their qualities of teachings, their qualities of teachings at the university. So we mainly focus on the traditional mission, which is about teaching. So I think with if the private universities have a lot of resources, they can go beyond that. They can just go beyond the traditional mission of teaching. So what do you think about the autonomy of public higher education institution? We could see that some public higher education institutions has been becomes the public higher education public institution, right? We call PAI, right? Public administrative institution, right? Some has become autonomous. However, some university, how is that important to be autonomous? I would say that it's a good idea to be autonomous because the university can actually generate the income by themselves, and they can have more freedom to do what they want. And in order to improve, for example, to improve the school environment, to develop the facilities for them for their university. However, there is for the public universities such as the for example, for some public university like RUPP, Royal University of Phnom Penh, okay, you could see that there are some departments or some program that do not generate the income. For example, like history or something like that. So if, for example, the department becomes autonomous, if the public education institution become autonomous, then the department that cannot actually generate the income may suffer to a certain extent. Okay, so because those departments survive on the public funding. Okay, so this is also something, and that is also the reason why some public education institution reluctant, to become autonomous, because they really need they still need the support from the government. For example, for the Institute of Technology of Cambodia, there you could see that the tuition fee of the student is very low. If we, for example, to provide such a course, the student will need to pay more than that, much more than that, right, in order to ensure the quality service provided during the program. But the thing is that the government, but now why can they actually study such specialized take in the specialized program like that with a limited amount of money, with such a low tuition fee? This is because of the support from the government. So some public university still need support. But if, for example, if you look at Royal University of Laws and Economics, most of the departments, I would say that all of the departments of the faculties can actually generate income. They can actually run the private programs, and they can actually generate income. So that would not be really a big challenge for them to become autonomous. So I would just say that, but in the near future, to a certain extent, most public higher education institutions will need to find ways to diversify their incomes, and then they would, in order to do so, they need to become autonomous. So in the near future, of course, and now most higher education institutions are now, in the direction to transform themselves into the public administrative institution. And what can help Cambodian to become, I would say it's something like what I said. There should be a dynamic interaction among the three key actors: university, governments, and industry, with university taking lead, in the coordination, all right, or taking initiative uh, in order to make it happen. But the human resources, I would say that the resources is important. It has to be considered first before we want to transform our university into, before we want to adapt the concept of entrepreneurial university in our country. All right. So we need to make our university become the source, the important source, the vital source of the technology of knowledge. Okay. Thank you very much. So next we got a question from Kantay from CDI. Entrepreneurial university as commercialized university. Okay. Think about this. If the difference between entrepreneurial university and commercialized university, if you try, for example, if your university want to commercialize their activities, then they will do whatever possible in order to get as much income as possible. So they don't care much about the quality of education. They don't care much about research. Promoting research culture, improving the quality of research among faculties and students. All right. So the word commercialization means that you are profit oriented. You think about getting money. All right. For example, if you, for example, you generate the income by getting the, for example, by the income from the from the tuition fee. All right, from tuition fee. So what? So how are you going to make the use? How are you going to make the use of the income that you generate from the tuition fee? This has to be used for the qualities of teaching, right? For the quality of teaching, and the money need to be allocated for the research purpose, to improve the study environment or whatever. So whatever you do has to focus on the quality. But this is something to do with entrepreneurial. So whatever we do, whatever activities that we do, we have to think about the research and education. And at the same time, research and education also need to do something in order to contribute to the entrepreneurial activities. Now, quality education, quality research. We provide quality research, we provide quality education, and at the end of the day, we use this in order to operate, to generate the income, to do research for private sector or something like that. So to make it short, the distinction between these two is more to do with whether the university can create the value added for the important mission of the university, education, research, and vice versa or not. But if the value, if it is the entrepreneurial university, the activities of the university must provide the value added for the important mission of the university and vice versa. But for the commercial university, it's all about making profit okay, out of all the activities they can do whatever possible in order to generate income for the university. But we are not sure whether the income generated by the university will be used to ensure the quality education and promote the research culture within university or not. It is not, you know. So this is just to clarify what you have regarding this question from Kantai from CDI. Next one, it's from Swandra. Swandra, you mentioned the roles of how you have shifted from teaching to research and innovation. Do you have any data to prove how many uh, Cambodian university contract their employees as a teaching only, teaching and research and teaching only? Most of the time, to tell you the truth, I don't have the data in hand regarding how many Cambodian university contract the employees. Most of the time, but as I have experience working at the university, I have observed that most of the employees or faculty members are employed mainly for teaching purposes. Okay, so but we could see that there is also a trend. There is also a few universities who have employ their lecturers full time to do both teaching and research. But so far, I have not yet seen the university that employed a person to conduct the research in particular. But that could be they may invite a person as a consultant to offer research services or to provide the research consultation for the faculty members or whatever. But most of the time, I would say, in most cases, employees in university are hired for the teaching purpose. Because it's clear to for us to understand, because most of the universities in our country are teaching oriented, you know. So most of the time we focus on teaching rather than research. So that is why most of the faculty members, I would say, are employed for teaching in particular, while a few may consider both research and teaching. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. The strategy. All right. The strategies to encourage the collaboration between university and industry and private sector. What can we do? Okay, I think we could see that there in our higher education institution there is also an office, what we call a university industry linkage office. I think in order to, as a start, in order to make it happen, it would be a good idea if the university establish, you know, if a university considers establishing an university industry linkage. So the collaboration will not happen if there is no one who can moderate. You know, there is no moderator. So um we can use the university industry linkage office. The person could be a moderator in order to make the collaboration between university and industry happen. All right. So otherwise, if you ask the people in the university to do it, then there must be one person who is actually in charge of that, so that they will just work on that. So to make it happen. So another strategy, we need to build trust. University needs to build a credibility among the public to prove to the the external stakeholders, the industry or the private sector, that they are competent enough to provide the services needed by the private sector. So if they can prove that they are source of, I mean, the source of knowledge and source of technology, they have enough facilities to do what is required, what is needed by the private sector. I believe that the industry will be attracted to collaborate with the university. So the collaboration between the university and industry will not be a big challenge. Okay.
The very last one.
The very last one from Dr. Kam Anya from RUA. Cambodian university and research institutions are very fragmented. Okay, and are usually operated by different ministry. If you have time, what would be effective method to integrate R&E and teaching and entrepreneurial mindset? Okay. This is a very interesting question, and I think this is a very good observation, seeing the fragmentation between the education and research institution. So different from other countries, different from the developed world, we could see that in research is conducted at university. Rather than at a separate institution. But so I would say that the methods to integrate R&E in and we could see different ministry, and I think this is it's actually beyond what we can actually do, because this is set, and people, it's really hard, because we need to have a kind of a national board to make. I mean, we do research all together, but now let's put in this way: what would be what would be the effective methods to integrate R&E teaching? And I think your question could be how can we can actually integrate R&E teaching and entrepreneurial mindset in a university? What can we do to make it happen in only one institution, rather than making them separate from one another? And I would say that it would be the most important strategy is to make sure that we can mobilize, or we can have gather all the researchers to work in the university, okay, to form a critical mass in order to push an R&D forward. And there must and the fund need to be allocated for R&E. Okay, as you could see that in other countries, there is a fund. The government has the fund for R&E, and in for the university in other country, we have a science park. The science park, which is the place where is a place where research is conducted, and with the science park, the university can actually attract the industry, government to do research. So it's so university should be like a think tank, so if we can actually make a university like a think tank in which there are lots of researchers there working together, then we can actually integrate R&E in the university, in the university, and an entrepreneurial mindset. I think before we start to make an entrepreneurial mindset among faculty members and students, it would be a good idea to start with the entrepreneurship education in the curriculum, okay, and let the student use the project-based project-based teaching method. All right, ask the student to to do something like a project. All right, so this is also to do with the teaching and the curriculum. We need to start with the entrepreneurship education and start to make start to encourage our faculty members to seek the opportunity to get the fund. Once they are qualified, once they are competent enough, we provide them opportunity to seek the fund from the outsiders. Okay, but in our country, could be from the development partners, if not from the private sector. So from time to time, I believe that this concept of entrepreneurial university could be adapted to a certain extent in the Cambodian higher education institutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Somchanpirun, for your informative response to all the questions.